Your SaaS website is losing deals right now, and you probably have no idea why. But after building 500 websites for clients like BizRate Insights, AutoVitals, and Shoops, I've narrowed it down to just 5 mistakes. Ones that from a buyer's perspective make your company look like a scam. And they're made by almost everyone, even some of the biggest names in the industry. Now today, I'm going to be walking you through each one of them using real SaaS website examples. And I'll be showing you exactly what to do to fix them too. So by the end of the video, you'll know exactly what to change for your website and exactly what to do to start converting more visitors. Mistake number 1, hiding the product behind abstract benefit language. Now, let's start with one of the most common issues I come across, because companies put a lot of focus in their hero section of the homepage, but then you scroll down to the body and suddenly you start hitting body copy like experience better HR and payroll. Now, this sounds very impressive and promising, but what does it actually mean? To someone who doesn't know anything about your company, probably nothing, because you're not talking about your product and what it does. You're describing the outcome without ever showing them how they actually achieve it. And that's the issue, because most buyers can't buy something they can't visualize using, even less a product they don't understand. And this is a very common mistake even big SaaS websites make, just like this example from ADP. There's no real example of how you get better in payroll or HR if you work with them. No workflows, no products, no screenshots and context, no walkthroughs, which means a first-time visitor to their site has to bridge that gap all on their own. And since that takes a lot of work, most of the time, people are just gonna leave. So how do you fix it? Simple. Focus on at least one section of your body copy about how your product works and what it does. Whether that's UI screenshots of a real workflow and context, specific use case breakdowns, before and after comparisons, basically whatever gives people a strong understanding of how your product will help them achieve their outcome. Now, for this mistake, I wanna ask you something simple. When someone who's never heard of your product before lands on your page, what's the first question in their head? They're not wondering whether the problem they have is real or if other businesses experience it too. They wanna know how your product is the best solution for whatever they're trying to fix. Which means if your homepage uses the hero section to sell the problem instead of how your product solves the problem they know they already have, you've lost them. And I see this all the time on SaaS sites. They build their messaging around their product category. Something like the technology and human support to help your business flow. It's bold, it's confident, but it's also completely vague. And the reason they end up doing this is simply that they assume a big promise makes them stand out, but so does almost everyone else. Which means when somebody lands on your homepage with no previous contact to your business, you're not giving them any reason to choose you over your competitors. It's a mistake I call selling the category instead of selling the product. And it's a shame because so many websites struggle with this, and the fix is really simple. Your homepage hero should lead with a specific claim about your product, whether that's what it does, who it's for, or the outcome they can expect from using it. Now, if you're not sure whether you're making this mistake or not, ask yourself a simple question. Can our competitors use the same headline without changing a word? The answer is yes. You're focusing on the category and not the product, and that needs to change. Here's the thing. The 5 mistakes I'm covering in this video are just surface level stuff that stick out to most new buyers. Fixing them alone won't magically turn visitors into customers on their own. To do that, you need a website that's designed specifically to convert. So if you'd like to have an expert on our team take a look at your website and map out exactly what needs to change so it actually starts earning you sales, you can book a call with the link below. We've helped over 500 companies like Boston Dynamics and Live Nation design high converting websites, and we'd like to see if we can do the same for you. So if that's something you're interested in, hit the link below to book a call. But either way, that brings us to mistake number 3. And to understand this, you need to picture how a buyer who just spent 20 minutes on your website is thinking. They've read the features page, they've looked at a couple of case studies, but they're not fully sold yet. They're genuinely interested, but they need a little bit more information before they commit. But they hit a wall because the only option on your website is book a demo. Every CTA, button, prompt leads to the same place, a calendar booking with a sales rep. What if they're not ready to get on a call with somebody who's going to try to sell them? Maybe they just need a little bit more information first, so they leave. All because you gave them no way to keep convincing themselves on their own terms, which is unfortunate because most of the people looking at your CTAs aren't just tire kickers that you're trying to filter out. They're the ones who actually engaged enough to spend time on your website building towards the decision. To fix this, easiest option is to give buyers multiple options when it comes to your CTA. A self-guided product tour, a pricing page, whatever extra information you need so that we can get them to the demo. Give that to them up front with no strings attached. That way, once they do go ahead and actually book that call, you'll know most of their questions and objections have already been handled. Now, this brings us to mistake number 4, one that I've seen even well-funded, well-staffed SaaS teams make. But before I tell you what it is, let me actually show you an example. This is ClickHouse's homepage. Looks really well designed, right? But do you notice how they focus heavily on their product's features instead of, once again, why a buyer should care? It talks about being open source, resource optimized, and having over 100 integrations. But that doesn't tell a buyer why any of it matters to them specifically, because people honestly actually don't care that you have a dashboard. They care that the dashboard means they don't have to manually pull 3 reports every Monday morning to reconcile them in a spreadsheet. That's the workflow that matters to them, not the feature that enables it. And that gap between this is a powerful product and this is the way the product actually changes my day-to-day is where the purchase intent dies. The fix? To build your product section around use cases and outcomes. Tell visitors the problems your clients experienced and how you removed it. Show them how it works step by step. That's the most reliable way to turn a visitor into a lead. Now, this brings me to our last point, and it's become a bit of an epidemic in these last 18 months. Go look at almost any SaaS homepage right now, and within the first 2 scrolls, you're going to see some version of AI powered, AI native, or built on AI written somewhere. And I get it, AI is everywhere, which makes you feel like not mentioning it will make your company seem out of date. But it's also so common across the industry that just mentioning it without any further explanation can actually hurt how buyers view your business. Without an explanation of what the AI does, how it makes decisions, or a reason to trust it, their instinct isn't excitement, it's skepticism. Take this sprinkler example here. Their hero header says the definitive AI native platform for the extraordinary customer experiences. In almost every subsequent section, they mention that they are AI powered or something along those lines. Yet it takes multiple scrolls before there's any explanation of what the AI does. And their product is literally just built around it, which is a problem because buyers in 2026 don't need to hear that you have AI. They've already heard the same from everyone else. And they need to know why you have AI and whether they can trust it. So if your business actually uses it and it's something that you want to highlight, don't just plaster it all over your homepage with zero context. Show people exactly what it does and give them a reason why they should trust it. Only then does AI actually become something worth mentioning. And those are the 5 main mistakes that are quietly costing SaaS companies and customers every day. But even if you get every single one of these right, your website doesn't live up to what the product promises, it won't matter. So if you'd like to learn what separates a premium website from one that simply looks cheap, watch this video next and I'll see you there.